Hypnosis is perfectly safe, but like anything from time to time, things can go wrong. In a stage hypnosis context, this can be somebody's dancing around on stage, and because they're in trance, not paying attention, a stage hypnotist will have multiple people on stage, and maybe they lose sight and somebody falls off. That is a danger. That is something that can go terribly wrong. Street hypnosis, same thing can potentially happen. So there are things that we have to be aware of in these settings to keep whoever we're working with safe. In a hypnotherapy context, this is usually when things go wrong, you're not falling off the stage or anything. It's usually because the hypnotist hasn't done a great job with the pre-talk and they haven't been properly calibrating with their client. So they're not really on the same page. They haven't demystified the process. They haven't gotten the client to believe fully and trust the hypnotist in what's going to happen. They haven't explained it to them. Or the suggestions they're giving aren't congruent with the client, with the language they use, and with their goals. It's not dangerous, but it's still something that's going wrong. It doesn't do the reputation of the hypnotist or hypnosis any favors. A lot of unexpected things can happen during a hypnotherapy session. And that doesn't mean that things are going wrong. But as a hypnotist, we have to be prepared, we have to be trained, and we have to be confident enough to handle these situations as they arise. Sometimes that just means we have to shut up and just trust enough in the process and in our client to let things happen. There are sessions I do, emotional detox sessions, which are absolutely amazing at helping people deal with trauma. But at the same time, because we're dealing with traumatic events, it can be scary. It can get intense. And as a hypnotist, you never know what's going to happen because it can manifest in so different ways. How confident are you to just handle things when it comes up? Because it is perfectly safe. Really, we just have to trust ourselves, trust our process, trust the client, trust their subconscious mind that it's working out the issue in the way it needs to, and we just have to let that happen. That can be hard for hypnotists that aren't experienced, that aren't confident, to just let things happen and be strong enough and confident enough to support their client in making these changes. A more serious way hypnosis can go wrong in the therapeutic context is during age regression sessions normally. And this is why I don't do them unless I truly believe that that is the best method for my client. There are no other options. This is the way forward. Otherwise, I don't like doing them, and I feel that we can get great results without having to go down that path. And the reason I don't like doing age regression sessions is the risk of creating false memories. False memories happen to us every day. They're everywhere. Usually we don't notice, we don't care that they're happening. It's something that just go, oh, well, I misremembered that. No big deal. A lot of them are very popular now. We call them Mandela effects. But it's false memories, and normally it doesn't matter. And it's easy for us to dismiss. It's important to remember that our memories are very malleable, and our emotional state alters our memories. So every time we access a memory, we alter it. We can picture something clear as day in our head, just like it happened just moments ago, but if we had a video of it right next to that mental replay that we're doing, it's going to look very, very different. When we recall something, every time we do that, we're recalling the emotions that are attached to it. So for example, if we take a trip every summer with our family to the beach, and we've done that for as long as we can remember, and we try to recall something, we can potentially jumble the events of 2 or 3 different trips together into one, because what our brain is doing is it's pulling things up to fill in the gaps based on emotion as it's reassembling things. Now, it's important to remember the subconscious mind does not differentiate between what's real and what's imaginary. So, to our subconscious mind, the reality we're experiencing now is the exact same thing as a dream that we were having about Godzilla trying to sell you a chicken sandwich. That's just as real to our subconscious mind, even though it's a dream, it's imaginary, it's not real. This is why if we have a nightmare, we'll wake up out of breath like we've been running or something. We'll wake up feeling really good if we've had like a really happy dream, and start the day right, because we're experiencing those emotions as if it's real, as if it's really happening. It doesn't differentiate. This is attached to this emotion, and it's bringing it up. When we're accessing that memory of the summer vacation, it's just as real as the dream where Godzilla was trying to sell you that chicken sandwich. With age regression, we're not just accessing the emotions associated with the issue, but we're trying to send the client into a memory of that initial sensitizing event. It's the very first time they experienced the thing that's associated with the issue that they're coming to us to fix. Now, since our subconscious is always working to protect us, it could generate something that's completely made up. Maybe it's something partly based in reality and something conjured up from a nightmare because the emotions are the same. That same emotional charge, it resonates between a number of different things, like a thread connecting stuff. A painful breakup could hit that same pain, that guitar string of grief going back to, say, the death of a parent. The emotion is that same note. With age regression, because of the framing that, we're working with your memory and we are going back to that event, and they're open to suggestion, and this is what they believe is happening, then because of that framing, the client could end up thinking that actually happened. Oh yeah, I was doing age regression to quit smoking, and I remember when I started at 14, going to the beach with my family, and my cousin would go hide, sneak under the boardwalk and smoke cigarettes, and then Godzilla came and sold us a chicken sandwich, and that Godzilla selling the chicken sandwich, that was the first time I was given a cigarette. It was by that chicken salesman Godzilla. It didn't happen, but it will feel like it really was real once that false memory was created. Now, this can also happen by asking leading questions. And, that's easier to do than we realize a lot of times. But it's important to remember, in hypnosis, we're more suggestible. So if you're in a memory of a summer vacation to the beach and you're describing the scene and you're asked, and where's Santa Claus now? The subconscious mind's processing that as, Santa Claus is supposed to be here. And then it's going to generate an image of Santa and put it into this memory that never actually happened. I totally remember Santa was there. Godzilla sold me a chicken sandwich, gave me a cigarette, and then Santa showed up. He looked at me, and then he kicked over the sandcastle I built, hopped on a reindeer, and rode off. Like, what are you talking about? You don't remember that? No, that never happened. None of that ever happened. Really? I swear it's real. I can remember it clear as day. So that is how malleable our memories are. This happened a lot in the 80s and 90s. There were psychiatrists, not trained hypnotherapists, but psychotherapists who heard a little bit about hypnosis and these great results that hypnotists were getting with people, and then they just started recklessly using it and using age regression, and more commonly, not even hypnosis, but a type of drug known as a hypnotic, which then created association between hypnosis that, even though the drug had nothing to do with hypnosis, but they would use that with their clients, and then they would start ask leading questions and implanting false memories. I think that's where a lot of skepticism about hypnosis today springs from. And because these were people that were unskilled, highly unethical, and they were acting in a very reckless manner, not caring about the best interests of their clients. We should always be looking at the best interests of our clients, and especially when it comes to age regression and the ability to create false memories. Another way false memories can be created, and this isn't as serious and traumatic as that, but I was watching some weird show on Amazon. I believe it was called Hellier, paranormal investigation stuff, hunting for UFOs and things like that. They went to Brown Mountain in North Carolina, which is known as being a UFO hotspot. They didn't see any UFOs, but they wanted to have, what would it be like if we were abducted by a UFO? They had a hypnotist come in, and somebody who was skeptical that UFOs even existed. He volunteered to do this, and they wanted to see what happened. Sits down, he is hypnotized to have the experience of an alien abduction. This was basically creating a false memory of that event. And then when they would ask him about how he felt about UFOs, he would get very emotional. It changed him. It was creating this cognitive dissonance because he knew what happened wasn't real. But it felt real. When he thought about it, he could see it like a memory, and then the emotions that would come with that. The subconscious is processing these raw emotions, and it's generating images to associate with the emotions. In the case of regression, it's been suggested to the client to go back to the first time this became an issue. So it's pulling up stuff that may or may not be real, and then it's filling in the gaps. This is why I take a content-free approach to dealing with trauma. If we're just working with the emotions surrounding it, we don't even have to know of a specific event. They don't have to go back to it. If you're traumatized, odds are you're replaying that over and over again in your head. You know what it is. You don't have to bring it up because it's there. The emotions are there. And we are just working with the emotions to get it flowing again. It doesn't change what happened, but it allows us to live with it, to move on and not have it impact us in those negative, harmful ways, because we're removing the emotional charge from that situation, from the issue that it's surrounding. We can achieve the same success as a regression session without those same potential risks to a client. That's not to say that regression isn't a valid form of hypnotherapy. There are great hypnotherapists out there that use age regression, that use it successfully. And it is very powerful, and it can be successful. My personal belief, my philosophy is that it is unnecessary 9 times out of 10. And some other risks besides all that. comes with pain management. And this is why I won't work with clients on pain issues without a doctor's referral. The last thing I want is for somebody to come to me, oh, I'm having migraines. Yeah, I can help with that. Hypnosis is great for helping people with that. But it turns out that the migraine was because of a brain tumor, and they didn't go to a doctor and get that checked, and then something really bad happens. I'm not doing my job right. Go to your doctor, get checked out, get cleared, make sure that there isn't something else, something serious going on, and that the doctor says, yes, you can work with a hypnotherapist on this issue. Have them send me a referral saying it's okay, and I'm happy to help. There could be something much more serious going on, and we don't want to mask it. We don't want to end up covering it up, especially if there's something that, medically can actually be done about that's the right way to go. So those are a few ways that hypnotherapy can go wrong. But it is safe. And there's nothing that can't be undone, really, even in the case of a regression session gone wrong. It sucks, but that doesn't mean that you have to still live with that forever. You just need to find a hypnotist that can help you, that knows what they're doing and can relate. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.